Hey guys, welcome to next set of a series of 4 videos that are going to go through principles of various aspects of training that whilst we are in the midst of the coronavirus and not being able to go out, gyms have been shut down, to help you best utilize the tools you have, even if it's just your own bodies, to continue on the goals that you have, be they weight loss, be they muscle build, be they strength, be they power. Okay, once you know the principles of these, it's really going to help you. And also, even after this, if you can revert back to these and know the principles, then your training is going to jump up exponentially because you understand why the program is trying to get you to do what you want to do. Okay, so today in this video, we're going to look at the weight loss principle, why it's going to affect you right now, and things that you can do to get around it. Okay, so first of all, let's go for the definitions and stuff. So the weight loss principle, the law of it is that you must be in an energy deficit to lose weight. Now, calories, energy, food, whatever you want to name it, let's try and keep it as easy to digest as possible. Excuse the pun. You must be consuming less than you are burning, expending, using to lose weight. Okay, now most of the time we don't have a problem with this because there are other elements of energy burn that we can rely on, although things are changing rapidly, and this is where this video is really going to help you guys come into your own. So, key points. Deficits vary from person to person based on size and lean mass. Now, I'm a larger person. I'm 6'3". I weigh 104 kilos at the moment, and I'm about 83 kilos of lean mass. That makes me roughly about 20% body fat. As you would have seen in a previous video on how to calculate your deficit, some people may be the same size as me, but in fact have less lean mass. So their deficits will be different to mine. My deficit will be very different to a smaller person who is slightly more athletic and leaner, or a larger person who has maybe more muscle mass than me. Okay, it is very individual to the person. So anybody out there at the moment telling you there is a specific calorie burn workout that you can do and they are naming the amount of calories they burn, it is completely subjective to the individual. Okay, do not take that as gospel because you may find you fall short. You may end up burning more, you could burn less. As an example, this was all discussed on the last episode of the Unorthodox Trainer podcast, episode 8, with my esteemed colleague Sophie. We said that, you know, if I do a circuit class, I can burn up to 1,000 calories in near 40 minutes because I have a lot of mass. I have to use a lot of energy. It's no different than having a larger car with a big engine is going to be thirstier than a smaller, more economic vehicle. That is the variance we're talking about. Okay, so please keep that in mind when people are selling you 500 calorie burn workouts. You may not hit that threshold because you would have to work harder than this person to get there, to expend that type of energy, or you just physically can't generate enough power in your body to make those kind of things work because your engine is smaller, shall we say. Remember, during bouts of reduced activity, like the current lockdown, the need of calories will be dropped, okay? At the moment, and you'll explain from this graph in a minute why this is important, at the moment we are moving less. We are dropping up to 1,000 steps out of our daily routine because we are being told to stay indoors and work from home. We are not making those small trips to and from somebody's office. We're not coming up and down the stairs. We're not walking to and from the car. We're not, going for a walk on our lunch breaks. That is going to have a huge effect on the amount of food you need to take in to maintain your mass. Okay? Protein should still be equated for, as we've said, that's kind of the constant, but the rest, your carbs and fats, which are generally the fuel, protein is the building blocks. We did the bricks and mortar video that you will see that explains all of that. The protein is the constant. So we need to be keeping protein as it is, but we will have to start dropping our calorie intake down. Now, this is hard when you are bored, because when you're bored, your brain tells you to go do something. If you can't go and do anything, you go and eat, which is why these home workouts have become very important. Ideally, they should be resistance-based if possible. I know a lot of stuff is sold out at the moment, but when you get it back in stock, please order some, even if it's just some resistance bands, a suspension cable, 50 kilo dumbbell set, because in the other principal videos that are going to come up soon. They're going to really teach you how to utilize the most out of it. Now, the reason this is going to have such a big impact is if we look to the chart here, our TDE, our total daily expenditure, is made up of different parts. Okay, now the largest part of our daily calorie expenditure is our BMR, our basal metabolic rate, our basic calorie burn. That is determined on your size, your lean mass, and your activity levels in general, and your level of fitness and age. There's a few factors that make it up. There's a few BMR calculators out there. There is also one that I put up on a previous video, so use that if you wish. This is your main burner, okay? This is what it takes just to get yourself moving around in the daytime, and that is what you're working with. So this is our saving grace, okay? You can see it's 50% minimum. For more active, healthier people with larger muscle mass, it could be 60% of the calorie burn, okay? It's coming from here. Next, we have NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, okay? This is your walking around. This is any unplanned exercise, okay? Going for a walk, deciding to go for a run with a dog, having a dip in the pool, paddling on your board, whatever you're doing that isn't a strict planned exercise routine is NEAT. And this is what's been reduced. So this takes can be up to 25% of people's calorie burn. We've pretty much slashed that in half with this lockdown for some people. Now all of a sudden, there's a huge gap in your expenditure, okay? Because next we've got a thermogenic effect of food, which is your body's need to use energy to digest food, which is why high protein diets have always been touted as a better diet when you want to lose weight, because it takes a lot of energy to break protein down. Now, fats are digested through in the lower part of the stomach. Protein is digested in the stomach and through chewing, and carbohydrates and starches are basically started to break down in the mouth. You can actually chew a piece of bread in your mouth until it disappears because your saliva will break everything down. It takes very little energy to digest carbs and fats, okay? Fats have a higher calorie content, so that's why people demonize them, but they're not bad for you. But protein takes energy to actually break it down, because you need to chew it, swallow it, churn it around in your stomach to break it down into the lipids, because the strands are very strong, and then it gets dissipated from there. So high protein diets, that's why you're told that they're the best ones, okay? So this is 15%, maybe even less, because we tend to eat more. And your exercise activity thermogenesis can be as little as 10% if you don't exercise that much, okay? Your exercising that you're doing is not making up for this massive chunk that is now missing, okay? These are interchangeable depending on what your diet's like, okay? We're losing out on half of this, okay? Which is taking us down to 12.5%, okay? So that now goes down to 12.5%, okay? That is a massive gap that we're trying to make up. So we have to reduce our calorie intake to meet the lack of NEAT, okay? It's going to be difficult for people, but you will set into it. This is why everybody's been trying to get people to social distance, so that we can get out of this slump for as quick as possible, because after a while, people's health is going to be affected by it, both mentally and physically, okay? Not ideal. We're trying to do our best to alleviate this. But to recap, no, okay? So, weight loss principle, the law is you must be in an energy deficit to lose weight. Deficits vary from person to person. Don't take someone's calorie burn as gospel, because yours will be different depending on the amount of effort you put in and your body's ability to burn calories. Remember that during bouts of reduced activity, i.e. our current lockdown, your need for calories will be dropped, and you may need to eat less, because we have cut half of our NEAT out at least. If you're lucky enough to go out and you're a runner per se, we can maybe get all of our steps in one go. If you've got home workouts, your exercise activity is probably going to stay about the same, because the stimulus is just very different. But we're missing out a massive chunk of our calorie burn. So be aware that if you find your weight is creeping up, because what I like to call the metabolic wave has broken, we're going to be fine for a week or so. If we've been exercising regularly, our body's going to be able to hold on to a little bit. But if things drag on a little bit longer, they're going to slide. That wave is going to break, and you're going to find things are starting to change. So if you can get ahead of the curve now and just gently reduce your calories a little bit, you should be able to keep surfing that wave for a little bit longer. These are challenging times. If you wish to reach out to me and get any kind of help, both mentally or physically with programming and stuff, please do so. You can contact me on here or go to these social media pages, which is still VS Complete Fitness, and I will do my very best to help you. Stay safe, everybody, and I will speak to you.